Hey guys, welcome into my channel. This is Trish. Today we're going to be doing a focal piece. What you're going to find out about me is that I kind of fly by the seat of my pants on things. I just create as it comes. So you won't see like structured making a lot of the time. You will see me just my creative process. So today we're going to do that. I decided to pull out the shell cover Jesse James bead. I really like this a lot. And also this is from Jesse James beads. It's acrylic, beautiful little pendant. And then some tassels, which we may end up painting with patina paint, because as you can see, the top of those are gold. So I can paint those with my patina paint, my vintage patina paint, to make them silver or whatever color I wanted. I just pulled out some odds and ends here. I pulled out some, check glass. This is fire polish. This is called Teal Half Metallic Loomy is the color of this one. Some Picasso check glass, Picasso finish on it, and some spacers, just odds and ends here, a couple roses, some Swarovski crystals I had picked up from Jesse James, and some other check glass and pearls over here in the corner. I'm not sure again what I'm going to be using. I do believe I'm going to trim this because I do think I want to use this. So I'll get those spread out into my dish, which makes my life a lot easier. So basically, I'm going to be using pear wire today, and this is the 20 gauge non-tarnish in silver. You can use whatever you have. A 20 gauge seems to work the best though on when I'm doing pieces like this. Has just enough flexibility, but also just enough strength. So that's what I find. So let me get some of this off. Just ordered myself a big roll today because I'm getting low. So here I'm pulling myself out about 18 inches of wire. That probably is going to be way too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. Just going to cut that with my flush cutters. And I'm going to go get the wire and frame here. Oh, about 2 inches or so down from the top. And this is where I'm going to make my first loop that I want to be able to slip this into. So I'm going to go about a third of the way up on the plier, on the round nose plier there, and bend it. Rotate my pliers. We're going to make that 90-degree angle, guys. So you can see that if I'm in photo there. Okay, in the picture. And I'm going to go over the top, rotate my pliers sideways, bring that over to the side. I guess it helps if I put it this way. And then you're going to see you have like that loop there is made just by doing that process. This is for a wrap loop. Okay, then I'm just going to come in and open that up a little bit with my pliers and see if I can slide in my crystal pendant here, if it'll fit on this loop. Again, like I said, I fly by the seat of my pants, so it's very likely this won't fit in there. So yeah, we're going to need to make a bigger loop, so we'll just take that off. Straighten this out with my nylon jaw pliers. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just go further up on the pliers. I'm going to go basically to the base of it here just to make a nice big loop. And again, I'm going to bend that at a 90-degree angle. Turn my pliers up and over. Turn them flat and across. You can also use your chain news pliers to put that first bend in. I do it either way, but let's see if our loop will work this time. If not, we can always get into the bell making pliers and use those. But okay, so I think that might work. Let me just see here. Nope. So we're going to go to bell making pliers, guys. I'm just going to trim this off because I've kind of beat it up too much, but so let's go to the old standbys, bell making pliers. And this is just the regular process that a lot of us do when creating. Trial and error. A lot of it is trial and error. And I'm going to go about 2/3 of the way up on my chain nose plier, and I'm going to do my bend there. So I know if I'm going that far up, I'm going to have enough space to put my bail making plier in there. So then I'm going to put my bail making plier in, loop over the top, rotate my pliers, pull that across. You can see there. Now I know that loop will more than likely work. I did that on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 millimeter, I believe that is, on that loop. Now then, that worked perfectly. So then once you have that crystal on, or whatever you want to put on your end, I wanted to give myself enough room to groove. I'm going to straighten that wire end out just a little bit above the loop so I can do a nice wrap there. This is just, there we go. So we'll do a couple wraps around there just to kind of get that to stay in place. And I just keep my nylon jaw pliers handy as I'm working with wire, because that way then it's just easy for me to straighten everything out and keep moving along. So you can see there is our crystal in our loop with the, I only went around twice because I want to keep beads relatively close to the bottom, I think. In the past, I know that I like the look of that. So I just trimmed that with the flush cutters. And I'm just gonna put that end down there to kind of get the burrs out of it, to flatten it out. And I ended up, there we go. Okay, so we put that there. So we have our crystal. Now, the main bead that I do want to focus on besides our crystal is this shell bead, which I really like. It's beautiful. But I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to layer these up, but we're going to try a couple different ways and see what I like the best. So let's first just try to put this on and to see how it looks just going on first. And that's really pretty there. That is gorgeous. So I knew those would be pretty together. So, I'm just going to play with this a little bit and see if I want to put the Swarovski above it. I don't know if I care for that right on there. The shade of blue is not quite right for that. I mean, I'm sure I can make it work on there, but just gonna try a Picasso bead and a spacer. We're just gonna play here, guys, and see how this comes together. And then a fire polish. And that's coming together pretty cute. Now it's making me think I want to put a fire polish at the bottom too, so let's do that. So let's put another fire polish on the bottom, put our shell bead back on. And our Picasso check glass, a spacer, another fire polish, and let's take a look. And that in just a few minutes there, you know, you have a beautiful focal you could use on any piece you wanted to. So I'm pretty happy with that. I want to see if I want to put a Swarovski on the top. I have these darker blues. I don't think I'm going to go with the light blue. I like those better. I think that's the color family we're going to try to stay in. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Sorry about the banging of the wire off the lights. It's just par for the course, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to take that as my, keep that as my main piece. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to add to it with tassels and bead dangles and everything like that, but this is a good place for us to start. So I'm going to go just up maybe a 1/4 inch up the tip of my chain nose pliers and bend it at an angle. And this loop doesn't have to be as big. This is going to be the one that you're going to link into your necklace or your piece or whatever that you're using. And I just did my circle, and I kind of am going to roll that back just a little bit so I can get those lined up, so I can wrap it around the top. And then I'm just going to grab that loop across with my chain nose pliers and just wrap around. Well, there's a few ways you can do this. You can just wrap it down to that bead and stop and trim it. Or what I like to do a lot of the time is just kind of roll my wire down and wrap it around and I like to get a hold of that with my fingers mostly. Once I get that first loop around, and you're basically going to wrap it around to put it in put it in between the beads. Boy, I can almost talk today, guys. I apologize. And then we're just going to roll this down here into the divots and around. And I just kind of wrap it around a couple times on the bottom. So basically that just gives us just another element of the metal going down the bead, which I think is pretty. And you can go back up if you want to do that, but I think I'm going to leave it at that for right now. And trim that flush and just push the end down there. Okay, so now we have that. Now we can embellish this any way we want to do that. Like I said, I have tassels, I have roses, I have, you know, if I want to hang this Swarovski crystal off of it, I can do that. Basically, in essence, you would just need to take a little bit more wire and just make a loop for this, say this Swarovski that we want to put on dangling with the crystal there. And we're going to do the same thing by doing a wrap loop. And we're just going to do our 90-degree angle, do a big enough loop so it'll fit through and you just kind of have to guesstimate, guys, on the pieces that you're using. And then open up our loop and slide on our crystal. Oh, unfortunately, it's not drilled the way I thought it was. Sorry about that. We're going to do it this way then. We're going to get a bigger piece of wire, and I'm going to teach you how to make your own head pin, which is kind of a neat trick to know. There's a lot of different ways you can do this, but the one that I find myself using the most, I want to make sure that this is flush cut on the end first. And then you're just going to take your round nose pliers and you're going to roll and make 3 loops, one on top of the other. Now this is how I do it. I'm sure there's a lot of different ways, like I said. But once you get your three loops, you can only do 2 if you want to, if you don't want it to be so thick. You're going to grab a hold of those loops with your chain nose plier, and you're going to bend your wire straight up. So now you have this. If you can see that, guys, this is your loops here. And then the wire is going straight up from it now. So then you're going to just take your wire and you're going to put the end of it down through the loops. Simply. Okay, once you get that through, I will take my nylon John pliers. I will grab a hold of the wire loosely but firmly, and then just give this a tug. And you don't want to be shy with pulling on it, because basically in essence then that gives you the knot on the bottom, if I can get that to focus. So there you go. So now we can put our Swarovski crystal. Let's put a little, Put a little one on the bottom. And a spacer. These are just daisy spacers. I'm sure everybody has these. And put our big Swarovski on. So there, we just made that. And then with the metal on the bottom, it gives it just a little bit more of a pop. And then I think I'll put the other. Oh, let's put a fire polish on top. Change it up a little bit. And you would not have to make it this in depth, but this is just giving you some ideas. So then we're going to go back to doing our wrap loop. I'm not really one to make simple loops. I once in a while will do it, but I prefer a wrap loop. So you're going to see those a lot. So I'm going to do my 90-degree bend. I'm going to go in here with my round nose pliers. Put that right in the bend. Up and over. Rotate your pliers. And then across. Okay. We're going to probably, I think I'm going to, let's see if I want to attach this right on or if I want to use probably, I want to use a jump ring. That's the way I'm going to like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish my wrap loop, because then I can just hook it in with a jump ring. And the reason I want to do that, why I want to hook it in with a jump ring, is because it gives it a little more fluidity when you make a piece, rather than just linking the links directly together. The jump rings will give you a little bit of fluidity, and I like the way that looks. So there's that. And again, we're just going to finish that edge off just by pushing down. So there's no burrs sticking out of any kind to hold of anybody. Let me just grab a silver jump ring here. And my preference on jump rings, the smaller the jump ring and the thicker the gauge, the more I like it. So basically these are, I believe, are 5mm, 18 gauge. And that's really what I like. I find that that gives me a nice size, and they hold up well. So we're going to just try one jump ring here into the loop in the front and see how that looks. And you can dress this up as much as you like or as little as you like. But this is just giving you a concept. You know, I could even probably put a couple more jump rings on that to get it to hang the way I want it to. And I just might do that, because I'm not real thrilled with the way it's laying across that stone. But it gives you an idea. So, and then you could just keep adding and adding again, or keep it simple. I think even like one of these little roses up here would look good. A tassel would be cute. We might hook that tassel in as well. It's just, like I said, the sky's the limit, guys. So that gives you a good idea of a simple way just to make a focal for a necklace, or to use as a purse charm, or something to hang in your window, you know, as a sun catcher. There's a lot of things you can do with this, the way to make this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this today, and if you have any questions or comments, please make sure to put them in the comments below. And any of the items that I've used today have either been through, well, no, that's not true. The truth is, there's a link for Jesse James Beads down in the description, and there's a link for the dollar bead box. The dollar bead bag as well, you can get at the dollar bead box site, is where I get my fire polish. And the majority of this, besides my fire polish, was Jesse James beads. These were from Michael's. They have a really cute Picasso bead there that you can get just like this or this one. And the spacers as well. So I hope this video finds you well, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.